In this video, we're going to be looking at the guided notes for real life linear equations given 2 points, and also not just writing the equation, but answering questions. Okay, so we've got 2 real life situations we're going to find the equation for, and then we're going to use that equation to find answers to questions that they could ask about it. Okay, so we can kind of see what's the purpose of having the equation. So if I look right here at number 1, let's read this together. It says Barry and Sherry went to the fair. Barry rode 9 rides and spent $28. Sherry rode 6 rides and spent $22. Let X represent the number of rides and Y represent the cost of going to the fair. So I love this because they've already just told me what X and Y is going to represent. So it's not something I got to figure out. So I'm going to move straight to what are my ordered pairs. Now, one ordered pair is going to be for Barry. The second ordered pair is going to be for Sherry. Okay. Now, Barry rode 9 rides and cost him $28. So his ordered pair is going to be 9 and 28. Now, Sherry over here, she rode 6 rides and spent $22. So her ordered pair is going to be 6 and 22. Now, our first instructions here is let's find the equation. Now, again, this is just like our last lesson. First thing we got to do is come up with the rate of change or the slope. So I'm going to just write down my formula right here. And now I'm just going to put in my numbers. I'm going to put in 22 minus 28 over 6 minus 9. Now, 22 minus 8 is 6, or negative 6. 6 minus 9 is negative 3, but that is actually going to all simplify to a positive 2. Okay? Now, I have my rate of change. Let's find our equation. Y minus y sub 1 equal to m parentheses x minus x sub 1. Guys, we can use either pair of numbers in our formula. I'm just going to use the second one only because the numbers are smaller. Okay, so if I was having to do this calculator inactive, that would be an advantage. So y minus 22 equal to my m right here is 2, parentheses x minus 6. Now, y minus 22 is equal to 2x minus 12. We'll add that 22 to both sides. So we've got 2x plus 10. Now, let's stop right here. What does this mean? What does that 2 and that 10 means? Now, I want you to think about when you go to the fair, don't you have to pay to get into the fair? You do. So the 10 is actually the admission. That's just to walk in through the gate. Okay. Now, what is the 2? Well, what's changing in this problem is how many rides they're riding. So that is the cost per ride, right? So each ride's going to cost them $2. Okay. Again, just understanding what that rate of change means and what the y-intercept means. Okay. You go to the fair, you got to pay to get in. Okay. And then if you ride rides, that's extra. Okay. Now, let's go down to our questions. Okay. This is a kind of a new piece for us. So we've got 3 questions here to answer, but let's look at the first one. It says, how much would it cost us to ride 8 rides? Okay. Now, remember up here we said X was the rides. So that means in this case, X is going to be 8. Well, I can take my equation, y equals 2x plus 10, and to figure out how much it's going to cost me to ride 8 rides, all I'm going to do is substitute 8 in for x and find y, because y is the amount of money it costs. So right here, I'm just going to do y equals 2 times 8 plus 10. Well, we know 2 times 8 is 16 plus 10 is 26. So it would actually cost $26 to go to the fair and ride 8 rides. Okay? Now, what if you're like me and love to ride rides? The second question says, how much is it going to cost to ride 20 rides? Well, I can do the same thing because I know 20 rides. So that means I know X is going to be 20. So I can use that same formula. And this time I'm just going to let X be 20. Well, I can do this in my head. 2 times 20 is 40 plus 10 is 50. So if I want to ride 20 rides at the fair, I better take $50 with me. Okay? Now, C is kind of the reverse of this. C says, how many rides can you ride if you have $40 to spend? Now, this time I know the money amount, so that means I already know that Y is going to be 40. And I'm looking for how many rides, that means I'm looking for X. So I'm going to take my formula again, Y equals 2X plus 10. But this time I'm going to put the 40 in place of the cost or the Y. So I've got 40 equal 2X plus 10. Now, all I'm going to do is solve this two-step equation for X. So I'm going to subtract the 10. So I've got 30 equals 2X. And then divide by the 2, so X equals 15. What does that mean? I can ride 15 rides. Okay? Now, here we go. Pause, 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 and copy. And then we'll do example 2. Now, let's read through example 2. It says, Wacky Wings is running a special on hot wings. Karen ate 17 hot wings and spent $9.25. Mark spent $10.75 for 23 hot wings. Let X represent the number of wings and Y represent the cost. Okay, so first thing we're going to do again is identify our ordered pairs. Now remember, Karen and Mark are both eating. So one ordered pair is going to represent Karen's information. The second ordered pair is going to represent Mark's information. So let's do Karen. Karen said she ate 17 hot wings and she paid $9.25. Now Mark over here, he goes, well, I ate 23 hot wings and I spent $10.75. Okay. Now, in this situation, let's go ahead and find our equations. So let's do our slope. Y sub 2 minus Y sub 1 over X sub 2 minus X sub 1. So what I'm going to have right here is 1075 minus 925 over, do your x's, 23 minus 17. Now, you might going to have to bust out a calculator on this, but what you've got is 1.5 over 6. Now, y'all cannot leave your answer like that because this is actually considered a complex fraction. Anytime you have a decimal in a fraction, or even a fraction in a fraction, it is called complex. Complex is the opposite of simple. So that means I need to simplify it. Well, if I do a 1.5 divided by 6, it actually comes out to be 0.25, which makes sense because we're talking about money. What that means is each wing is 25 cents. Okay, So you got 25 cents wing special. Now, let's find our equation of our line. Y minus y sub 1 equals in parentheses x minus x sub 1. Now, you can pick and choose which point you want. I'm just going to pick Karen's because her numbers are smaller. That's the only reason. My mind just gravitates to those small numbers. So y minus 9.25 equal to 0.25 times x minus 17. So let's simplify this. 9.25 equal to 0.25x minus 17 times 0.25 is 4.25. Then all I need to do is add the 9.25. So y equals 0.25x plus 5. Okay, now we definitely in our problem, just thinking about what we're looking at here, we definitely know this is a cost per wing. Okay, that makes sense. Wings cost 25 cents. But what the 5? What does the 5 mean? Well, I want you to think about this. A lot of times if you go to a restaurant and you eat, you get that drink and you can have as many refills as you want. So if you're eating a lot of hot wings, you're probably going to be drinking a lot of drinks. So that might be, now I'm saying might be, your refillable drink. Or it might be your tip, because your waitress is going to be bringing you a lot of hot wings back and forth, okay? But it's a one-time expense, okay? It's a one-time expense. Now, we've got some questions here we can answer based off of this formula, okay? Now, my question right here, the first question it's asking is, how much would you spend at Wacky Wings for 10 hot wings? Okay, 10's about what I normally get. Okay, after about 10, I'm done. So I can go back and use my formula. Y equals 0.25x plus 5. Now, 10 hot wings. That means x is going to be 10 because I'm told at the very beginning, x is the number of wings. So substitute that in, 0.25 times 10 plus 5. And I'm just going to put all that in the calculator, and it comes up. The calculator, guys, is going to tell me 7.5, but it is money, so I need to add that 0 there, okay? It is money, it's cost. So don't leave it at 7.5, make it $7.50 or $7.50. Okay? Now, look at the next question. It says, how much would you spend for 25 hot wings? Okay? And some of you guys are going, oh yeah, I can eat that many hot wings. So x is going to be 25 right here. I'm going back to my formula. And I've got y equal 0.25 times 25 plus 5. And I can just put all that in the calculator at one time and come up with 11.25, and that is money. So it's going to be $11. That's supposed to be a dollar sign right there. That's what that should say. So it's going to be $11.25. Now, let's look at the next question, kind of reversing it here. If you spent $8.50, how many wings did you eat? Okay, so in this particular case, we're talking about the money is what we know. So we know that the y is 8.5. But let's go back to our formula. Y equals 0.25x plus 5. Now, I'm going to put the 8.5 in place of y. And what I have is a two-step equation right here to solve. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract the 5. So I got 3.5 equal to 0.25x. When I divide that by 0.25, what I'm going to come up with is 11. 11 what? 11 wings, right? So if you spent $8.50, you were eating 11 wings. Let me write that a little bit bigger right here. There you go. Now, my last one, it says if you have $20 to spend, what is the most wings you can eat? So you only got the $20 bill, okay? No more money. So here, y is going to equal to the 20, okay? So using my formula, y equals 0.25x plus 5. I'm going to have 20 equal to 0.25x plus 5. Okay, just putting it in place of the y. Now, solving for x, subtract your 5. So I got 15 equal to 0.25x. If I divide that, I've got x equal to 60. Oh, I bet you bought wings for other people too. There's, I don't know, too many people that could eat 60 wings. Okay. Now, if you will finish copying these notes and get those into your interactive notebook, and then you go to Canvas and work on your assignment.